What's up, everybody? My name is Brad, and today I've got another book review for you, and I'm going to be talking about Brides of Hanover Block by Gregor Xane. This is book 2 in the Hanover Block Quartet. Book 1 I've already read and reviewed, and that was the Hanover Block, and I'll put a link to it in the cards up above. But book 1, I really enjoyed book 1. It was a solid 4-star read for me. Like I said, this is book 2. I'll go ahead and read the back here, give you all some basis of what it's about. In the Hanover Block, you witnessed men doing nasty things on their lawns, the perverse pleasures they enjoy alone in their backyard sheds, workshops, and garages. But what of the women, the wives, the church lady down the block, the home care nurses, the widows and daughters and sisters and mothers? Women are doing strange things behind closed doors. Why are their curtains drawn? Why are their basements off limits? What dark secrets are they trading at prayer circles on Sunday nights? And now shadowy government agents in dark suits are rapidly closing in, asking these same questions. The brides are coming. So like I said, book 2 really builds upon and expands what we learned in book 1. This one is called Brides of Hanover Block, so we get perspective from the women in the neighborhood. And the timeline is sort of parallel to what's going on in book 1. We're just seeing it from the women's perspective. And that was something I really enjoyed about the book. We have a whole new cast of characters, but through these characters' eyes that we're just meeting, they talk about people we met in the first book. We see through their eyes things we saw in the first book. We get to witness events from their perspective that we saw in the first book. So I really like those aspects of it. Gregor's building a world here, and I love world building when things start to weave together. People, places, things start to interact with each other. I really enjoyed those aspects of the book. And speaking of the author, Gregor, I feel like his writing has improved since book 1. It's noticeably improved. And that's not a slight on book 1 at all. I really loved the writing in book 1. Like I said, I gave it 4 stars. But you can tell he's starting to hone his craft, and his writing and his dialogue and descriptions and everything has improved since book 1. I also think that he did a better job on his characters in book 2. His characters feel well-rounded. They feel more in-depth. We learn more about what's going on sort of in their mind and their psyche. We learn some of their backstories, events and things that happened to them in their past that sort of inform their actions in the future. And just all around, I think everything is better with book 2 than book 1. He improved it greatly. So I'm really looking forward to book 3, excuse me, to see if it improves even more upon book 2. Like I said, the timelines sort of run parallel, but we're getting the women's perspective in this book. There's a few women that it focuses on. There's Amanda. She is the preacher's wife. There's Cassie. We meet her. She's celebrating her wedding anniversary. And there's Heather. She's sort of in middle age, but she still looks really good. Still keeps herself looking good. And she's sort of the envy of all the husbands in the neighborhood. You know, they all think she's hot, sort of give her the looks while their wives aren't looking. So all the wives sort of don't like her, but all the husbands are attracted to her. There's a few other women, but those are sort of the main ones. And like in book 1, we find out what these things are in relation to the men. In book 2, we find out what these things are in relation to the women. There's still lots of weird, bizarre, nasty goings on like book 1. There's lots of bizarre, weirdo sex in book 2, just like in book 1. You know, with this thing on the cover, you can use your imagination. So if that kind of stuff turns you off, these books might not be for you, but that's not really what these books are about. But I'm trying not to give anything away, but there are certain creatures or entities or whatever that appear to certain people in the neighborhood, and the women I mentioned, these things have appeared to them, and they sort of, whoever these things appear to, only that particular person can see it or touch it or interact with it. And all these women, they have something in common, so they sort of form this bond, this club, if you will, and they feel as if they are blessed by receiving these gifts, these things, and it sort of takes on a cultish mentality a little bit, that they must do anything to protect their blessing and their gifts. And that's sort of where all the women come together, their stories weave together. But under all of the weird, nasty, bizarre, erotica and sex and things, there's this underlying mystery, conspiracy going on. That is my favorite portions of the book. And Gregor has done a great job of peeling back the layers and giving us just enough tidbits to this mystery to keep me intrigued and riveted and needing to know more. But he hasn't given us so much that I am able to predict or guess what it's going to happen or anything like that. So he's hit that sweet spot. He's given us just enough to keep me interested, but not so much where I can guess what the plot or how it's going to end or anything. And like I said, the where it talks about here on the back, the shadowy government agents, that's my favorite part. Like I said, this conspiracy, this mystery coming in, it raises a lot of questions. What these things are, why are they here, where do they come from, what is their goal, what are they hoping to accomplish, interacting with the men in the first book and the women in the second book. And sort of, I don't know, the last 40 or pages or so sort of caught me off guard. Things really escalate, then a lot of action takes place. Not to spoil anything, but there's a fog that rolls into town, and that's when it really picks up steam and things start to happen. That's when a lot of the government agency stuff is in there, and I loved the last portion of the book. It sort of leaves us off on a cliffhanger for what is to come in book 3, and I need to know what is going to happen. I need to know more about this mystery, this conspiracy, and I just loved it overall. It was great. I gave Brides of Hanover Block 5 stars. Like I said, it built upon and expanded upon what I liked in book 2, or what I liked in book 1, and it does it even better. Gives us more stuff going on, more of the conspiracy stuff. We learn a little bit more details here and there about what's going on. The characters are better. It was well written, better written than the first book. And I would just ask Gregor actually today on Twitter. He had tweeted out that book 3 was coming sometime soon, and I asked him if he could give any hints when that would be. And he said sometime in February or March of this year. So I'm really excited for book 3 to be coming out soon. But that's all I have to say about it, really. I don't want to give anything else away. It's like I said, it's bizarro, it's weird, it's nasty. There's lots of weird sex in it and erotica. But there's that underlying conspiracy and mystery that's really driving the story and what's really kept me riveted and wanting to know what's going to happen next. I do want to say that Gregor was kind enough to send me this book for free for a review, and he did sign it for me as well, which was really cool. But that didn't have any bearing on my thoughts or my review of the book. I really did enjoy it, especially, like I said, the mystery and conspiracy and stuff. Those aspects were my favorite part of the book. But have you read Brides of Hanover Block? If you have, I'd like to know your thoughts about it down in the comment section below. If you liked it, didn't like it, whatever it may be. But that's all I have for y'all today. So thanks for spending your time with me. Again, my name is Brad, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.